Everybody, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I know it's been a while, but man, I've just been kicking it through this whole NBA regular season business. So we got about 10% of the regular season finished right now. So I'm just here to announce a trade. First things first. Eric Bledsoe, I don't want to be here. Eric Bledsoe is has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks for Greg Monroe and first rounder, second rounder as well. This is from the Milwaukee Bucks, their draft picks. Again, Greg Monroe. Not much to say about Monroe, but I will say this about the Eastern Conference right now. It means things are looking good for them. You know, a lot of teams are kind of misleading right now. I would say that I probably would have expected the Magic to kind of be here at this stage. I mean, they have been here before, you know. I mean, any team can really make the playoffs, but I also want to talk about mainly about the Bucks as well. So where this puts the Bucks, I'd say they stand 10th in the Eastern Conference right now. I mean, a couple wins and losses here and there, you know, first 11, 10 games. I would put them fourth. I mean, maybe sixth. Because, I mean, you think about it, you can't underestimate the Eastern Conference. You can't overestimate the Eastern Conference. I mean, you want to put talent on a team and have them play together. But Giannis Antetokounmpo has been an MVP candidate his first month. He was Player of the Month last month for the Eastern Conference. But, you know, a lot of people coming up in the East, like Kristaps Porzingis, you know, a lot of people are still, you know, counting on the Knicks to really not do so well. But, you know, I see a lot of teams doing well this year. Teams that aren't doing well right now could always get better. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about my Atlanta Hawks right now. They stand 2-9 right now. They had a pretty bad losing streak a little bit ago, about 8-game losing streak after they won the road opener against the Mavs. But I will say this: we bounced back, beat the Cavs. That was okay. You know, we didn't have two of our bigs that are rotation players. You know, I'm still clearing my thoughts because of a cold that I had. You know, point is this. Beat the Cavs, and then 117-115, crazy game. God is good. Celtics game, we fought really hard. Fought hard against the number one seeded Celtics, stand 9-2 right now. You know, we stand 2-9. We seem like polar opposites. I say maybe we get into the playoffs as the 8th seed, and now hear me out. We get to upset the Celtics. I know I'm going to get a dislike for this, but I want to say this. In retrospect, we meant to be like this way. People say we're tanking, but I have a theory of what we're going to do. I'm going to make a video on Hawks. Bro, I am on this cold energy high, you know. Thing is, when you get a lot of cold hours, you know, you're ill for a minute, then you just burst of energy. Also because I'm a second degree black belt. That's a different story. Point is this puts the Bucks in a good place. I don't know about the Suns with this one, but the Suns were actually going on a winning streak without Eric Bledsoe, so they don't really care. They were prepared for Eric Bledsoe to just not be here. You don't want to be here. Okay, you're not. Goodbye. Go to the salon. Go to the Milwaukee Bucks. Go. Goodbye. We're going to go get Greg Monroe, make the playoffs as AC. So we got Devin Booker and Mike James. But, you know, Suns, they're going to be okay. They're going to be completely. I'm not going to lie. They're going to be okay. They just couldn't win with Eric Bledsoe, and I can see it. And that's what kind of gets me, because you can say the Bucks are going to be contenders, but no. Eric Bledsoe did nothing on any of his past Suns teams that he was on. What makes you think he's going to make the Bucks a contender? That's just me being a hater for a minute. But I will say Giannis Antetokounmpo needed that little ball handling pressure off him. But Malcolm Brogdon was a mature sophomore point guard. So, I mean, getting the ball out of Malcolm Brogdon's hands, like, I don't know, maybe he's a small forward now, or maybe Maybe you have to have Eric Bladsoe at the shooting guard position. I mean, you're gonna have to do a lot of different changes to the lineup if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. But I was saying if the Pistons were to get Eric Bledsoe, they would be contenders because of a certain consistency. I'm reminded of the fact that Reggie Jackson used to be, pretty good for the Pistons, and now he's actually even better because they're the second best team in the Eastern Conference for now. So I would say for the Pistons, they would need to get an Eric Bledsoe type player because I kind of am reminded of Kent Bazemore when I'm thinking about Reggie Jackson now. Very similar styles. I mean, if we just had Okafor coming off the bench, I think we could make the 4th seed in the season conference. I mean, there have been teams who started 1-15 and made the playoffs. But that's not my point. I'm getting back to the subject. I'm saying that rosters are going through a lot of dynamic changes with trades. So the Cavs aren't looking too good, but I don't expect them to be, out of the conference finals if they're matched up with the right team. When I say this, I mean matchups are everything. You don't want tough first and second rounds in a row, so they might take an easier route, maybe go as the 5th seed or 4th seed, and then home court advantage might not be too important for them. They could beat teams on the road. Like, these aren't even going to be upsets because they got LeBron James. He dropped 57 points and had 15, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, and blah, blah, blah. I can name his stat line. He hadn't had a game like that in a long time. Probably may have another game like that tonight. Maybe not. He's playing against the Bucks, but they don't have Eric Bledsoe tonight. So the Wizards, they're okay now, but they took a step back, as a matter of fact. But every team has to take a step back for to take a step forward. Same thing with the Hawks, You get to December and January and February is when teams get really hot. So the Celtics right now look hot. Even if they win 50 games, when Isaiah Thomas gets back, he's going to go ham on the Celtics. Fury and vengeance and anger and wrath on the Celtics. So I want to wait on that. That's going to be entertaining. So many different matchups. Toronto's doing okay. Kyle Lowry might need to be traded. I would have said Eric Bledsoe would have made them better because Kyle Lowry has regressed from the All-Star that he was to actually really just a below average point. It's weird. It's like he's just, after he signed that new contract, he's like, man, I'm not feeling it. It's kind of crazy. They might have to, maybe they just don't like the coach. But besides that, man, I know we're forgetting. Hornets are doing pretty well. Dwight's doing good over there, they'll probably go like last year maybe and regress. And it is really because of the discipline factor. The Hawks are developing chemistry, and that's what's going to make them better. But I'm also saying that a lot of these other teams, they're getting a false sense of security, like the Orlando Magic, or thinking they're like, oh, we're the number 1 to this next week. They lose a few games in a row. The Nets were really good for a while, and then they lost a few games, like 5 games in a row, 4 games in a row. So when they might make the playoffs, but a lot of this cockiness, is bad because I think the Cavs are in a really great position. As many games as they lost against the teams that they lost against, they don't care. They don't care, and that's the point. They don't care who they lose to in the regular season. When it comes to the playoffs, they're unbeatable. There's no one who has a matchup against them. And I'm explaining how hard it is to match up against the Cavs in the playoffs. But I'll have to make a video later about the Western Conference and other things. But yeah, it's been fun so far this season. It's really delivered on the Eastern Conference side. 76ers doing pretty well. Ben Simmons, man, he's great. Joel Embiid, he's great. I'll say it. The Knicks are okay. Tim Hardaway Jr., I thought he would do better. But it's also because he looks like he hates the Knicks. He hates the Knicks, man. I look at it, he only had one good game against the Cavs because he really hates the Cavs even more. And LeBron James. But he really hates the Knicks. He didn't want to be back there, but it's the money. But Kristaps Porzingis, man, is MVP candidate. Okay? I'm going to say this how it is. Kristaps is the MVP candidate for this team. I mean, he's coming to be Giannis's, rival in a minute. They're like Magic and Larry Bird in the same conference. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about how good the Pacers are. The Pacers are pretty slamming. Victor Oladipo, man. He can only not sing. I mean, he can sing, like, really well. He can dunk awesome. He can score, man. Like, he's all around great player. I kind of hope he's all-star, really. I kind of do. Hope he sings at all-star game again. Great job. Next team I want to talk about is the Bulls. The Bulls are doing probably okay, probably where we are. But I want to say we're better than the Bulls. I'm going to leave it at that. It's not just the competitive part, it's the dysfunction. I mean, what's happening with Bobby Portis and Nikola Mirotic? I mean, that punch. Now the Bobby Portis is going to be playing in the game for Nikola Mirotic. You have to get Nikola Mirotic out of the games, because you have to trade him. Because he really does not want to be there. I would have suspended, maybe even arrested Bobby Portis. I mean, it's terrible over there. Their best player is probably one of my favorites. Robin Lopez. Yeah, my mom's name is Robin, but Robin Lopez is a great player. He might get trade jocks. I don't know, but he's a really good player. Appreciate him. Man, Kyrie's an MVP candidate. He's playing like Iverson. Crazy. Dennis Schroeder. Oh my goodness. Man, if you get my wins for him, he's going to be an all-star, man. Bro, I mean, Eastern Conference is coming on strong. All right, Bucks might be okay. Peace.